Hello, my name is Nico Steves. Welcome to this week's installment of Constant Procession. I'm going to depart from specific apparitions of the Virgin Mary to cover a bit of ground surrounding a few saints during the times when the British Isles were exporting the Apostolic Church beliefs into the European continent. I'm hearing from some readers that they plan to give gift copies of The Very Fine Light. Just so you know, there is a quick and easy way for doing this on my book's Amazon.com page for ease when sending the book as a present. Plus, it will get to them very quickly. For those of you just subscribing to these podcasts, here is a bit of background about my book, The Very Fine Light. The Very Fine Light is a contemporary novel with Christian themes about a village on the verge of bankruptcy, the mayor with a secret, and Randy, a fun-loving co-worker who's always in trouble for telling it like it is. Oh, one other thing. For those of you currently reading my book, The Very Fine Light, please, when you finish it, do go to the book's Amazon.com page and rate it. I have a link at nicosteves.com that will get you to the page on Amazon. So, as always, stay tuned by joining my mailing list. This is where you'll be the first in line for specials. Just go to nicosteves.com to sign up. This final saint from the family is St Winebald, the older brother to St Willibald and sister St Valpurga. There are 6 people that are saints who came from the same family that I've been covering of late, and they lived during the same time period in the 700s. They all fared from England, and most left on missionary duties in Germany at that time period. As I've mentioned in previous podcasts, each of these family members are known by a variety of slightly differing pronunciations of their names. Many sound very familiar to the other family members, and so in an attempt to avoid confusion, I've chosen throughout these last 4 podcasts to use the most distinctive of the names they have been known by. For example, St. Winebald is also known as St Wunabald, which is similar to a combination of both his mother and brother's names, St. Wuna and St Willibald. So on to the history of St Winebald. He was the firstborn to the parents St Wuna and St Richard of Wessex, though it was his brother who at the age of 3 received a miraculous cure from a deadly illness. In the family, it was known that St Winebald had the weakest constitution. Nevertheless, at age 19, he agreed to go on pilgrimage with his father St Richard and younger brother St Willibald in their desire to visit the holy sites of the apostles in the year 721. Their father St Richard died en route, and after burying him in the city of Lucca, Italy, the brothers chose to continue on to Rome. Both the brothers became very ill, probably with malaria, according to accounts, but they were never ill at the same time, so one would nurse the other one back to health. That's certainly telling of the closeness and devotion of family members to one another. Now, since their original plan had been to try to make it to Palestine, younger brother Willibald, along with several other English pilgrims, decided to continue. However, St. Winebald's fragile condition and his desire to become a monk made him decide on a different path. He chose to remain in Rome to undergo his religious studies, and he became a monk while in Rome. He returned to England with the intention of recruiting other friends and family members to come back with him to Rome to dedicate their lives to God and maintain a monastic life in Rome. He remained there until his uncle, St Boniface, came to Rome to have an audience with Pope Gregory III in 738. At that time, the elderly archbishop convinced St Winebald to come with him back to Germany and help him with his efforts to maintain the churches that had recently been established and help grow the ministry there. St Winebald, in spite of his weak constitution, bravely heeded the call to support his uncle's efforts among the Germanic tribes. He was immediately ordained into the priesthood, and he'd taken on the task to strengthen and grow a small number of churches. This undertaking must have been most difficult, but he endeavored to devote himself to the undertaking. Around this time, his brother St Willibald, whose story can be found in a previous podcast, episode 262, had been ordained as a bishop in Germania. Now, this newly minted bishop requested that his older brother, St Winebald, help him build a double monastery that would be a seminary to support the growing number of Germanic churches. This seminary would be the pattern for others as well. Their monastery was established in Heidenheim, and St Winebald became the first abbot. Apparently, it was a bit like the "if you build it, they will come," as also with this case, since according to St Winebald, he had to find a location, clear the ground, and help build it. His personal cell area included a chapel because sometimes he was too weak to attend services with the monks and the nuns there. Oh yes, his sister Valpurga became the head of the nuns at this double monastery at the request of their brother, the bishop. It was with profound humility and personal sacrifice that St. Winebald, like all the others from his family living in those times, endeavored to honor the Word of God and desires for Christ's church on the earth. St. Winebald was following in the footsteps of the apostles in the training in Rome that allowed his success in growing the monastery. But though he could not serve in various missionary services as did his brother, our St. Winebald upbuilt the churches under his charge, giving freely from his heart all that he could offer. This saintly man died following a visit to the grave of his uncle and mentor, St Boniface. While there at the grave, St Winebald briefly regained his strength, only to pass away 3 weeks later, once getting back to his beloved monastery. St. Winebald has been honored among the churches in Germany after passing away in the year 761. So ends my podcasting mini-series about the family of saints from England who in the 8th century helped spread the gospel of the Apostolic Church from out of England and onto the European continent. Thank you for listening. Please give a link of this podcast to a friend. Till next week, I'm Nico Steves here. My book, The Very Fine Light, can be found using the title, The Very Fine Light, on Amazon.com. Please feel free to contact me at nicosteves.com. That's Nikos Steves, Steves.com. If you like this episode, and for more, share them with friends. Well, this is Nico Steves. Thank you. See you next time.